Welcome to Still Plays Galaxy viewers. We're back with Grand Arena, the penultimate match of Season 31. Finally back in business. We had a number of things going on which prevented me from posting the last week of these in the first match of this week. The last title update didn't really agree with my BlueStacks. It took me a while to figure out how to get things working. I just had to uninstall everything and reinstall. Just annoying issues, but we have it all working out again. We lost the first round, so we fell down to Kyber 3, but technically this is a Kyber 2 bracket. Mostly 6 GL players here. I'm going up against a 4 GL player today. Here's the recap up against my opponent last round, Cactus Eater. Really wish I could have captured this one. Some good battles here. You can see, solid match, but I could not match him in efficiency. Here's how he did up against me. 2 shots up against Qui-Gon, 1 shot everything else. I believe he 1-shot the rest of the board. That was the only hold I got. Back, but he's a 6 GL player. He had plenty of GLs for offense to throw at me. No problems with most of these squads. Fleet was the one area where I thought I could win. Because he attacked first and my fleet was standing for a while. I'm kind of surprised his banners are so high. He must have done a lot of solos. Because for a while, I wish they would show the results here. Chimera was standing for a while and it was looking like he was done. But he must have brought in some other teams to clean it up. I'll be looking at the history to see what happened. But he eventually picked it apart. Here's how I performed. And just jump ahead if you guys don't want to see this stuff. There's a lot of front-loaded information in this video. So I started to run out of teams when I was clearing this territory. So Hux and Django here causing some trouble. But the rest of these territories we got through pretty efficiently. So 1 shot that front wall. It would have been, I don't remember exactly, but it would have been JMK up against Lord Vader. We probably used JTR up against Bossk. I think I Traya'd the Mon Mothma. I may have Savaged the Finn. I don't even remember. Back territory. Newt, Phasma, Bam, Iden, and Geos. And with Iden, I attempted Raddus. That did not work out. This was just my last chance to attempt using my Gear 11 6-star Raddus and Gear 12 Cassian and Jin before the Profundity event and taking them up to relics. So I threw them in to see how they would perform. At that point, I was thinking he wasn't going to clear my fleets and I could get a. I had the opportunity to test out some of these other teams because it was looking like he was not going to full clear me at that point. But congrats to Cactus Eater, well fought. Because we don't have footage for last week, I am going to go through the Grand Arena history. We used to do this as a regular part of the videos. If you're not interested though, jump to the timestamps for the current match. Round 1 was a loss. This could have been a full clear, but it still would have been a loss. He 1-shot all my teams, and he set down a strong enough defense where that was not something I was going to match. In his back wall is where I started needing to need multiple teams in order to clear what he had. I ran out of time in the middle of my fleet battles, but you'll get an idea of how this went. So JMK up against Starkiller, Starkiller up against his CLS. This was probably a team I didn't need to do, but Savage was still kind of a new thing then in mine, so Gear 12 Savage. Jedi Knight Revan, Qui-Gon Troopers against his Ami Asajj Ventress. Gas up against the Bad Batch. Wampa taking out Iden. Jedi Knight Luke solo up against Crew. JTR taking out Bossk. Shaak taking out Grievous. Bad Batch handling the Veers. Like, we're having a very solid match. This whole week was really a good week that I really wish we would have been able to capture. Like, we won the week. We went 2-1. This being the loss. Traya attempting that up against Beskar Mando, just couldn't keep up with the relics. That didn't work out. JML taking out a Shaak T team. We threw a Jawa bomb at the Geos, which succeeded. Vader with... I'm trying to remember if I had the good Datacron at this point. I think I had the good Datacron at this point. Taking out Jango. Savage I used up against Boba Fett, Sign of Jango, a fully relict squad. This worked out great. My own Fennec tried to take that up against Beskar Mando. Didn't work out. And then you can see where I ran out of time in the middle of this Malevolence fleet. And I didn't even have a time to take out the final fleet he set on defense. For round 2, this was a win. This was an efficiency match. I just barely edged out my opponent. Jedi Knight Luke taking out Crew on a solo. JTR taking out Bam, Veers, Bossk. JMK up against his Maul. Shaak T up against Dooku Separatists. Soloed a Rolo team with Nest. Inquisitors, Relic 5, ready for Grand Inquisitor. Easily handling this Barriss-led Jedi team. Gas solo up against Talzin and the Night Sisters. Then a few more solos. Wampa taking out Wampa. JML taking out Qui-Gon. Revan handling Newt. Used Savage up against Akbar and Leia. I don't think this was a double Ami. I think this was a single Ami, just the Akbar Omicron, if I remember correctly. Although Malak probably could have soloed it on his own. Maybe it was double Ami. I don't recall specifically. Vader easily handling Geos. With the Datacron, this is kind of a waste. Traya up against Mon Mothma without Kyle Katarn. That's pretty safe. Starkiller taking out a weaker Dash comp. Fennec solo up against Ewoks and then handling his fleet. The final round, this was a safe win. I think my opponent couldn't clear my fleet. JMK up against JMK. This didn't go well, but it's because he had high relics on this squad. I don't have high relics on mine. I don't think he had a Datacron, but I did have the Riposte Datacron on mine. So I thought that was going to be enough. Didn't turn out to be enough. Had to clean it up with JML. But fortunately, there weren't more GLs on his defense in addition to that. This is what I really wish I could have captured. Using my 5 or 6 star Raddus, Gear 12 Cassian and Jyn up against his fully Gear 12 Iden team. That was a little scary, but we were able to win it. It got down to a point where Jyn was basically dead, but they were targeting her and she can't die when Raddus is alive. So she was able to last long enough for Raddus to use the download or the download ability, bring back Cassian, and we were able to take them out. Really solid match. Veers here up against Bossk. Malak taking out Hux. Attempted Ventress up against Rex. Was hoping we could ramp up things. That did not work out at all. They just targeted Daka, and there's nothing. It did not go well. Maybe with Omicron, but no. I used my JKL up against CLS. We are going to, this match, attempt Savage Gear 12 Omicron solo up against CLS. Gas taking out Rex. Wampa, I saw in the Swugga data that Wampa can solo this thing. Maybe we're going to have to try that again in the future to understand the mechanics there. Did not go well for me. Doesn't end up mattering for the match though. Traya up against Mon Mothma, Nest taking out ROLO. I used my Savage up against Cad Bane, but at this point in the match it didn't really matter. Shaak T attempting Grievous. I think I was low on solid options at this point. Losing the JMK match in the beginning constricted some of what I wanted to do. Starkiller, Newt, JTR, Dooku, Vader up against Geos. Really not what I want to be doing with Vader, but him being able to solo, I mean, he can solo plenty of things with that datacron. That's not really a reason. Bad Batch cleaning it up. Inquisitors cleaning up Qui-Gon, then Fennec, and those battles. Shifting into this match. Here we have the bracket. My opponent last round was Cactus Eater, so you can pay attention to him a little bit more closely to see what I faced in round 1. Let's move my head to the upper corner. Gotta lock this stuff. Move my head to the upper corner. So in terms of GP, I'm pretty high, but we have a few people slightly higher. The Omicrons, my opponent has 5. My opponent last round had 6. This guy here with 10 is the most in the round. I'm actually doing pretty well at 9 GLs. Basically everyone in the bracket has 6, except for my current opponent Hamilton at 4. I'm the little baby here with 2. Looking down below at mods, you can see my mods are very solid. In terms of counts, I'm kind of right in the middle, but I've got very good mod quality. But this being a Kyber 2 bracket, you can see that everyone is pretty good. I don't even have the advantages in top 500 to the same degree that we've seen in the past. It's starting to shrink quite a bit. But in terms of counts, like we're all this is my advantage I've had here historically is shrinking. That's partly because I've been holding and hoarding resources, because we'll be streaming that at some point. I just keep not being able to do it how I would like. In terms of datacrons, I have the most level 1. That doesn't mean anything. What really matters is the level 9. I'm beating out my current opponent. I beat out my last round opponent, but it's not even something that's an advantage across the board. In one of those, I don't even have the character at the relic levels necessary to take advantage of that level 9 datacron, that being Malgus. Here are the GLs. You can see my opponent last round had all of them except for Jabba, my current guy. This is a tough match in terms of, if you're going to have 4 GLs, those are the 4 GLs that are going to cause some problems. And Lord Vader too, but that's usually, you're not going to, I've never seen somebody who's Lord Vader, JMK, JML, Sith Eternal Emperor. That usually isn't something that happens. Here's a look at the Amis. Only 1 on Malgus. Just make sure that I'm not cutting out too much. So only 1 on Malgus. He's got Raddus, but no Omicron, Iden, Starkiller, but only Relic 3 on Starkiller. That's fairly weak. You can see my opponent last round, no Malgus or Starkiller on his roster. Not that it made a difference. Qui-Gon here. And then, I am the only one in the bracket with Savage Omicron. But I'm a trailblazer with that kind of stuff. I can smell an Omicron that makes massive differences. And I knew that one was going to be one. I threw that on right away. We'll be taking him up to relics, obviously, but it's perfectly usable at gear 12. Other characters. Interestingly, my opponent, even though he has all those other characters, all those conquest characters, no Maul. Very interesting. Yeah, we're going to just jump into the rest of the roster comparison. Looking at his roster, there's his 4 GLs. Let's organize this by speed. His Star Killer is exactly 300 speed. We can get a feel for the depth of his 300 speed characters. That's a lot. That is a lot. 23. Maybe even Jedi. Let's just, maybe it's even 24. Let's take a look at Jedi Knight Revan here. 24. This guy's got solid mods and has modded his stuff well. You can tell with the GP difference, I've got a lot of stuff he doesn't have. Looking at the Hotbot, this is how we measure up. He's in a very good guild. 400 million GP. I don't go up against those too often. Clears are somewhat low. Undersizes, though, are very good. Not too far behind me, so we know he's going to be using those, which just means we have all the less wiggle room to work with. Zetas are somewhat low, considering he's got 4 GLs. Good amount of relics. Mods we saw earlier, but we have a little bit of advantage there with his relic distribution. Pretty solid. He kind of evenly split all over the place. We've got a slight advantage there on JMK. And then looking at the other key characters here, he's got a faster Malgus, but mine has better relics. His was at relic 2, I believe. Is that? Or am I being a fool? I'm pretty sure he was at relic 2 at sign-in. Much better cat. God, that's a good cat. Oh, he has no maul, which is interesting. He's got profundity, but not at sign-in. This was afterwards, I believe. Because I pulled this up. When did I pull this up? Yesterday? I pulled this up yesterday when the event happened. You can see we do not have much time left. My opponent started attacking me. He's probably attacking me right now as well. Looks like this top territory. Maybe he thinks I'm not going to attack and just did a few battles and stopped. That would be nice. Because we're going to be fighting the clock this match. So he one-shot all those teams. I'll show you the other territories real quick. Back wall, and you can see I have Datacrons on every squad that I can put them on. The Malgus squad, though, I only have a Relic 5 Malgus and Relic 3 Sith Empire paired with him, so that Datacron's not fully activated. I was holding on to resources so I could get the Profundity, which I have now, but that prevented me from increasing relics on characters for a while. So what he's got for me is Dash Raddus. Looks like he's ready for Profundity, or has it today. We got Moff Gideon, Shaak T, which are a very weak Shaak T team. Malgus, no Datacron, and only Relic 2, single Ami. It would be nice to throw gas up against that Malgus, but we'll probably just throw a GL at it. And then down below we are looking at Mon Mothma, JML, Grievous, Qui-Gon, and Bossk. Bossk, I'm a little concerned about that match because I have like 60% of a plan. So let's get in here. We're just going to Wampa the Mon Mothma. There's no need for a Datacron. Let's just get... Yeah, maybe it'll speed up the clock. Just give it like... What is with this camera? No, definitely not that. Let's just do this. Who cares about accuracy? Whatever. need to fix some of this. You can see some things are still not quite set up on BlueStacks properly. I gotta play with some of the settings, fix the shadows, but things are functioning. Part of the reason why we're racing the clock today is just trying to get everything working right. You know what, let's just auto. This is this kind of match with the potency synergy with Kyle Katarn. This always goes up against the clock a little bit. Mon Mothma will bring her back, and we're just going to have this annoying situation with potency up. Unless we can take her out again, but no, it's up. Alright. There's a lot of nonsense I want to talk. Because last week we couldn't record, I didn't give my thoughts on Andor, and there's so much to talk about with Andor. That show is fantastic. I love it. Come on. Yes. Yes, this is going well. But with racing the clock, it's going to be difficult to focus on talking nonsense and focusing on this match. You know what? This is something where, yeah, it's AoE. Yeah, this is auto. Because if I'm going to be stuck behind the taunt, we can't go for anyone else. It's just, we need the damage to ramp up. No, I gotta, yes, 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 yes. We get to a point where the damage ramps up and Mon Mothma is taken out. Really, I probably shouldn't do this anymore. Vader probably was a better option. Yeah, this was a bad call. Especially with how much time that we have. Yeah. Alright, we'll get our protection up in a second, do some big damage. Where's my protection up? Oh my god. This was a bad call. I need to not do this one anymore. It just eats too much clock, and that potency up just really messes things up. And if it gets close to timing out, then I'm gonna have to stop. So right there, you can see Mon Mothma's might go down soon. I need another AoE and quick. Before Mon Mothma can heal up too much. Come on. Come on. AoE should be next. Counter. Guys, you gotta do that AoE. Are you just defaulting to that? Like, is it on cooldown or something? Jeez. Okay. See, I hate that. What is with my connection today? This connection cost me this battle. It's very irritating. Alright. At least it's a battle I've got other things I can do with. Oh, I needed a datacron. It's this clock. This is something I might need to slow play a little bit until we get to the ultimate. Or what am I done with? There's resilient defense. He's gonna go down, so let's just take him out. And we can use the ultimate on Hermit Yoda instead. Not the ultimate, but you know the kill, the instant kill. Oh, that's not good. All right, now we can auto. Hopefully my match isn't eaten up again. Because we got 47 minutes or so left. But anyway, Andor is absolutely fantastic. I'm loving the show. It's what I've been wanting for a long time. One of the things I've said about all these other shows is how small they are making Star Wars feel by just focusing on this Skywalker saga stuff. And Andor is a show that is expanding how large that world can be, playing in other sandboxes, and it's making me very happy. Alright, we're gonna just Shaak T this Grievous. There's some risk here, but it's not the best comp, so I think we can get away with it. Let's go with the protection up, I think. No. No. There. And health, steal, and damage, that's good stuff. I reset a couple things after we had that connection issue with the Wampa. Things seem to be running more smoothly. Just give me some stuns. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. I was a little concerned with... Okay. Sure. Maybe not. I kind of like having Echo more. Yeah. That's not great. That's also not great. Yeah, we're in trouble. Yeah, I really prefer Echo in these moments. Yes. Okay. All right. Yeah, so with Andor, what I'm really appreciating is how well written the show is. There's none of this stupid exposition stuff where there's all these unnecessary scenes that are just about explaining things to the audience because they think we're stupid and we can't interpret things from the context of the show. And instead we have this show that is just like the scene with the we'll get to that in a moment. I gotta make sure we don't run out of time here. Do I want protection? Do I want turn meter? Let's do protection. All right. I'm just gonna go after Qui-Gon. Sometimes I like letting Anakin burn stuff off. Okay, that's fine. This is what I want. Anakin goes perfect. Get rid of that foresight. Perfect. We're good. Get protection back. Not enough for the banner, but good enough. So we got that scene in the first episode where the guy is talking about, did he tailor, the security guards on Morlana 1, was talking to Searle and whether or not he tailored his suit. And there's just so much going on in a scene like that. It's where you learn so much about the character of Searle based on how he is conducting himself without it needing to be told. All right, we gotta focus. We got to focus. This is risky. I don't want to do it because my BB-8 can easily die to Bossk. But it's kinda maybe. No, I guess I could do Veers. This one I might regret. I just need to make sure execute happens at a time when BB-8 is under stealth. Or I need to make sure we have Boba Fett completely under control. So things like we're prioritizing stuns. See, this is the kind of stuff that worries me. Like right here, we could deal with an execute. Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. That's the stuff I'm worried about. That was a bad call. Let's just take out Bossk. It's close enough now. Obviously, Boba Fett no longer have to deal with the what's it called? Bounty Hunter's Resolve. Alright, we're good from here. So you have that scene where in that moment, through the act of tailoring, through the way he's conducting himself, we got to fix this camera, he's showing how ambitious he is. He's showing how he cares about his appearance and how by the book that he conducts himself. And all of that informs all the other decisions that he makes down the line. It's all consistent with the character. Come on, we got to move along. Don't be giving me none of this. All right. Let's get back to this. I'm just Vadering this with the Datacron. Oh, we could do an Inquisitor. That could be interesting. I need to get Watt. No idea what's on his back wall. Or I've got part of idea. I could see from a couple of his matches. Alright, let's give it to Vader. Alright, perfect. Yeah, let's do it. Oh wait, no, I should have basicked it. Whatever. Not exactly working the way I want it to. It would be nice. Yeah, I need the extra body for the cooldowns. Alright, we'll be better off in a moment. Next time Vader goes. Here we go. So what I want to do basic, because we can get an ability block and that'll affect our cooldowns. Jeez, man. We're not landing a lot. A lot of dots. I'm hitting Kyle Katarn because he's a Jedi. Jeez. Okay, we got an ability block. That'll get us back in a Merciless Massacre. I want the cooldown. I'm gonna hit a basic. Like, we could throw the saber, but yeah, let's do that. I'm gonna chuck it. Would have been nice to have gotten a purge. We are at 36 minutes left. This is a problem. Let's, not quite. I need more dots. All right, we can chuck it now. Perfect. Good. It took me forever to get that Datacron. That was my whole... It took me all of that conquest to get that Datacron. I got it on like the last day. I used a ton of crystals for the energy to keep working on getting credits, leveling up Datacrons. It was a whole thing. Geos, of course. Okay. There's a couple things I wanted. Ooh, that's nestable. We are gonna. Or it's definitely malleable. Is it nestable? It's nestable. All right, we're gonna nest this. It looks like he's missing a team I was expecting. Armor penetration would help. Accuracy. No, that's too good. I can use that elsewhere. Dodge, special fine. I'm not going to use that anywhere. That's a nonsense datacron. We just got to move. Just auto. Without the, he only has like, I think what was it, 5 Omicrons for Grand Arena. He has like 8 or 9 Omicrons total, but a little bit lighter on these. But we are racing the clock right now, and racing him. We got to beat him and beat the clock. Losing that Wampa battle is so irritating. Okay, moving on. That ROLO is also nestable. We can probably we can do Malgus solos too. All these teams are nonsense. Let's head up top. We can wrap up with those teams. We got Fennec solo, Malgus solos. We got stuff we can do there. Oh, where did I want to use? He had CLS in his history. I was hoping we'd see CLS and we could use Savage there. I wanted to see what my Gear 12 Savage could do. I'm not going to mess around. We need to win. I'm just going to JML this. I think we don't need a good JML team. Ah, shoot. We are going to have to do... We'll do this because I want to use the Datacron. So we need to use Relic 5s. I need more Relic Jedi for these Datacrons. Or just increase the Relic on Ayla, I guess. Maybe put different ones on defense. Okay. May as well increase cooldowns there. Alright, Talonite is who I want to take out. Perfect. Let's just auto from here. Kind of stopped watching Rings of Power. I'll get caught up on it, but there's too much going on, and it's kind of the show I'm least interested in right now. I'm even behind on Hot D. He's still going. All right. What was my plan for Dash? Jedi Knight Luke. Did I want to solo that with Jedi Knight Luke? That seems a little crazy. I think we'll just gas Raddus. Probably could be a solo, but I don't want to find out right now. Not worth the risk. We would check in on my opponent if we weren't racing right now. We just don't have the time to see what's going on with that. Maybe if we pull ahead, we'll check what he's been up to. Just remember you can't kill Jin while Raddus is standing. That's why we're focusing on him. And Jin can revive, so I would like to remove her from the equation. Alright. Perfect. Looks like he's cleared another territory. I did not have a plan for Jedi Knight Luke, is that? Like, I know Jedi Knight Luke can do this. The question is, do I want to do this as a solo or not? And I kind of feel like I do. But there's stagger, there's some stuff here that... No, let's just Star Killer. What am I talking about? Why complicate things when I can do something very much definitive? I forgot I had Star Killer. Let's hit dash. He's the annoying one with the control. Let's hit the staggers. Prevent them from doing their annoying stuff. Here we go. Come on. There we go. It makes me nervous when it takes the time like that. I guess we'll just use Jedi Knight Luke here. Do I think this is a solo? You can strip turn meter. No. No. What do I want to do? Use my own troopers? We'll beat him in speed. Because we get additional speed. Let's check his mods. His mods aren't bad, but I think we're right here. It's pretty good, though. I'm still going to get out ahead with my Piet. Let's go. Oh my god, I wanted Dark Trooper. This is a mistake. I'm gonna go with Days now. Because I messed up. I needed Dark Trooper. I was just clicking too fast, and then, you know, they move slots sometimes, and when you're not paying attention, you make those kinds of mistakes. And there goes my stacks of Emperor's Trap. Fortunately, we are fine. Come on. All right, Shaak T. Maybe this is where we do Savage. You know what? Let's just have some fun. If we lose, we lose. But I really want to do a Gear 12 Savage solo. And this feels like a good place to do it. 23 minutes left. Because they don't have really any debuffs right now. We're going to be getting stacking offense. We should probably go after Shaak T. Let's just auto. Because they can attack us. We're just going to get more and more stats with everything they do. You really need debuffs in order to control him. The amount of recovery that we're going to have is going to allow us to take these hits. I really wanted to go up against CLS. CLS is scarier though. I'm kind of surprised he can do it. Because the buff immunity is what CLS could make that much more dangerous. God, I love Savage. I'm so glad this Omicron happened. One of my favorite characters, voiced by a very unheralded actor, Clancy Brown, who is also the voice of Lex Luthor in the Superman animated series, the Bruce Timm one. Really my favorite version of Luthor. Come on, come on. We should probably auto on basic, right? Until... I think we kind of are, until we get down below health. But have we attempted an overpower? Does the AI know? The only concern is, do we not get enough offense to beat out the recovery? Oh my god, seriously? How did you do that much damage? Okay, good to know. I'm concerned we're going to run out of time. It's probably a Malgus solo. The recovery I'm concerned about. Is it? Should be fine. Should be fine. We can do Luke's solo up against somebody else. I think my defense might stop this guy. This should be easy, because I can beat like Arc and Echo with Malgus. I used Savage here because it was the best remaining, and it was an interesting match. I still can't believe Cody beat him. Can you trigger my stuff? Alright, there we go. At least with a solo we can make up a couple banners. Alright. Alright, let's clear that back wall. We might run out of time during fleet. Fleet territory is worth less than taking out all those squads, so we're going to go there. We'll Jedi Knight Luke the ROLO. I guess we'll use this because we forgot to throw it on JMK. Seriously? Awesome. Just awesome. I wish we had gas. Alright. Geos with... That's kind of annoying. We're going to just Traya that. I don't know what's going on there. It looks annoying. We can do a Fennec solo somewhere. Feels like a waste of a watt. But maybe this is going to mess me up. "13 minutes left." No. This is a waste of a watt. Who cares about permataunt on Brute? Especially up against this. It does nothing for this counter, and this is really the most common counter. So why do it? We're gonna have an Annihilate soon. There it goes. You have no win condition. We'll hit Spy because we're gonna Annihilate Brute. Or not Brute, but Alpha. And as long as we don't have to deal with a stealth, we can take out Spy. I almost wanted to do that, but we're not gonna. Oh, that, you know what? I need to use Isolate to affect the cooldown. Forgot about that. Now, if we can get a Dispel and my Annihilate working at the same moment, will be great. Come on. Yeah! You're taking too long. We have pulled ahead. Let's do a little bit more. Got 10 minutes left. We're gonna try if... I don't think this is a good idea. We're gonna try it though, because I'm a reckless person. Sure. I don't know. I'd have to remind myself about the kit, but that sounds like it could do something. And it's the only one I can put on her. We at least get bonus stats. Ooh. Oh, don't die on me. Come on. Yes. Boom. Come on. Come on. No! Can we get Armor Shred? Yes, we do. We'll just do more Armor Shred then, until we get our chance, unless I die first. Come on. Come on! It's not gonna work, but kind of fun. Let's clean that up now. Yeah, we could do something like that. What are we gonna do up against these Night Sisters? I didn't even think about that. Let's think about the Night Sisters first. They're the most annoying now. Is there something we can do with bounty hunters? It's really risky. I think we're gonna die first. I feel like we die first before I get it off. Hot Cartel. Raddus. There's so much dumb fun stuff we could do. We have 7 minutes left. We're definitely running out of time, but we want to clear this territory at least. Do this first. Looks like my defense is going to be holding up. This, I mean, we can use like Thrawn with somebody. I just don't want to use a team that I might want to use elsewhere. Because this is going to be annoying, actually. I didn't give myself a good squad for this. I'm almost wondering if we do something like... No, we already used Ninth Sister. What if we did something like... Let's just do this. We're gonna go. Oh, I used that Datacron. Fine. We'll try this. I have no idea. We can at least. I don't know. We'll trigger the stuff quick. We can land buff immunity. I brought in 8th Brother because he can throw down buff immunity with the right stacks. I probably should have had 7th Sister though. Okay. I'm saving that for when Taunt is up. Perfect. That's... Now we go after DACA. But I'm probably going to lose my guys because I don't have any recovery. I needed 7th Sister. This 7th Sister would be so much more... Yeah, we've lost it. We needed him more than anything. Alright, that's fine. We got to get the banners here. We got 4 minutes left. So we're going to just do... Empire. I don't like that at all. What do we have with Sith? Nothing that I like. This is awful. This is just awful. Is Empire my best option? It's ridiculous. I'm just gonna do this because they have relics. I really wish I would have brought Seventh Sister into that Night Sister match. I think it would have worked. Do I have anything? If I had relics on certain of these characters, you know what? Let's do something dumb and fun. Let's just do Rogue One with the 2 minutes that we have left until we time out. It's not like it's winnable anyway. Here's what these guys look like at this gear level. I do not think this will work at all. Because there's really no way to deal with zombie with this squad. You know what? Let's do this. Do that. There's the sacrifices. Less than a minute remaining, and somehow this team was not junk. That was a mistake. I should go after Daka. Come on. Oh my god. Oh my god, we're doing it! Do it! Do it! Come on, why? No, you're so tanky because of that Zeta. Come on. All right. I can't believe how good that worked. That if we had full time, that was a win. Ridiculous. All right, we are winning this match, which is fantastic. Kind of ridiculous, but we have timed out. Let's see how Hamilton-Crampton did. This was a valiant match by two people who decided to wait until the very last moments. Feel that extra pressure, get that blood pumping. So he one-shot all this. He had 3 GLs for offense. No Malgus on his roster again. Or no, he did have Malgus. No Starkiller then? I forget what he didn't have. I'm going to be recording some of this stuff after the fact and pretending I did it before the match. Let's see here. So back wall. 2 shots up against CLS. Sure that we have a solid data crown on here. This one's going to be expiring in a day or two. So that gave him some trouble. Didn't attempt any battles up against Maul. Sortie stood tall. That's good news. That team's been filler for me. Other teams went down in 1. Up top here. Tuscans stand for 2. The rest went down. I'm surprised he didn't attempt any fleet. Maybe he did attempt fleet. Let's check. Well, I guess we can't really tell, but it looks like no damage to any of these ships, so he might just hate fleet. But a solid, nerve-wracking match that could have been a full clear had I had more clock. We're going to wrap it up there. I got a lot of videos I want to be making, but we are back in the swing of things, and we will be back to regular videos and commentary in the coming days and weeks. Thank you for watching. Be safe out there, everyone. Be excellent to each other. This is Still Plays Galaxy of Heroes.